r/ask Reddit, Professor Stephen Hawking has passed away at the age of 76. When I was 5, my mom read me George's Secret Key to the Universe. That book shaped my earliest years, making me obsessed with being gas smart as Stephen Hawking. Thank you Mr. Hawking, and I'm sorry Lucy Hawking for your loss. He has been one of the world's most iconic people for my entire life. I cannot recall a time when I didn't know who he was. We just lost a legend. For those who don't know, he was diagnosed with ALS when he was 21 years old in 1963. At the time he was given a life expectancy of 2 years. The man had some serious fight in him. For those who don't know, he was diagnosed with ALS when he was 21 years old in 1963. At the time he was given a life expectancy of 2 years. The man had some serious fight in him. A quote from him that I think many of you would enjoy: people who boast about their IQ are losers. My aunt was diagnosed with ALS 18 months ago. 10 months ago she was driving and now she has a feeding tube. This disease terrifies me and I am so afraid for her. I am so grateful for all the attention Stephen Hawking brought towards ALS. And his cameo in The Simpsons. Bloody good effort to make it to 76 with that illness. Thank you for all your contributions to our world, Stephen. Rest in peace, mate. We just lost one of the greatest scientific minds of our time. But at least we had him for the time that we did, against all odds. RIP. It's kinda surreal reading this, feel weird right now. Although I cannot move, in my mind I am free. Stephen Hawking. This is a really random quote that stuck with me forever. I don't have any disease like him, but I still feel trapped and stuck by his body, by a system, by relationships, by responsibilities. So the only way I could escape that is in my mind through writing and creating stories. In my mind, I can do and be and exist however I want. Rest in peace, great mind of the century. After seeing a trailer for The Theory of Everything, my wife was surprised to find out he had ALS. Wife, if he is paralyzed, how does he write all those books? Me, there's not too many, booty, I'm sure it takes an extremely long time and, _short pause _me, you know Stephen Hawking and Stephen King are two different people, right? Wife, oh. Stephen Hawking was born on the 300th anniversary of Galileo's death, January 8, 1942, and passed away on Albert Einstein's birthdate, March 14. I can't even begin to describe how cool that is. What? This totally caught me off guard. I actually thought it was fake. He gave it a good go though. Expected to die young, lives longer than most. A royal shame. Fantastic though that he stuck with us this long. He may not have believed in life after death, but in the words of Ernest Hemingway, every man has two deaths, when he is buried in the ground and the last time someone says his name. In some ways men can be immortal. Live long Stephen Hawking, live long. They gave you 2 years in 1963. God may not play dice with the universe, but you beat the odds anyway. Rest in peace, Professor. Hail to the greatest min-maxer of our time. Despite rolling close to a 0 for Constitution, his intelligence score actually gave him a bonus that allowed him to live far longer than even people with average scores. Your accomplishments will echo far beyond the time we got to share with you. Rest in peace, Professor Hawking. Rest in peace, Stephen Hawking. You're back amongst the stars you loved. Stephen Hawking has always been one of the biggest reasons why I've pursued physics and quantum mechanics. He has served as a reminder that I should never give up on my love of science. I am truly saddened and shocked to hear of his death. We'll see you on the other side, Stephen. Rest in peace, buddy. 1. Remember to look up at the stars and not down at your feet. 2. Never give up work. Work gives you meaning and purpose, and life is empty without it. 3. If you are lucky enough to find love, remember it is there and don't throw it away. I hope he is revered and remembered in the future as much as Einstein, Newton, and the other greats. He will be sorely missed. Such a great sense of humor. The only guest to have appeared on Star Trek as himself. I honestly didn't expect this. Rest in peace, Stephen. What an amazing man. Given 2 years to live and makes it to 2018. We were lucky to have him around as long as we did. We just list a once in a generation mind. I'm not afraid of death, but I'm in no hurry to die. I have so much I want to do. First, Stephen Hawking: A Brief History of Time rocketed Hawking to stardom. Published for the first time in 1988, the title made the Guinness Book of Records after it stayed on the Sunday Times bestsellers list for an unprecedented 237 weeks. His life was played out in biographies and documentaries, most recently The Theory of Everything, in which Eddie Redmayne played him. At times I thought he was me, Hawking said on watching the film. Br gotta watch the movie and feel numb. The world has lost a shining star. The world has lost a shining star. It was going to happen, but damn does it hurt. Rest in peace. Velist, a great mind. I believe the simplest explanation is, there is no God. No one created the universe and no one directs our fate. This leads me to a profound realization that there probably is no heaven and no afterlife either. We have this one life to appreciate the grand design of the universe, and for that, I am extremely grateful. Stephen Hawking. Man, my jaw actually dropped while reading this. The man's put through a lot. I'm glad that he didn't just pass away, but have passed, leaving people inspired and filled with knowledge. Man, my jaw actually dropped while reading this. The man's put through a lot. I'm glad that he didn't just pass away, but have passed, leaving people inspired and filled with knowledge. I loved that he had a sense of humor and made several cameos on Futurama and The Simpsons where they made his character kind of a jerk. udo.be/a-p8s_hcco. I loved that he had a sense of humor and made several cameos on Futurama and The Simpsons where they made his character kind of a jerk. udo.be/a-p8s_hcco. Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. Couldn't agree more. I got into physics because A Brief History of Time. I'm going to graduate this year in aerospace engineering, partly because of I's book. RIP. I have noticed even people who claim everything is predestined and that we can do nothing to change it, look before they crossed road. RIP Stephen Hawking, he's crossed thousands of scientific roads without looking at all. Doctors gave him 2 years, but his legacy will last for decades. He made the most of his life. What an incredible man. I wish I could be met him once in my life, discuss with him around a dinner. And he died on 3.14 Pi Day, or 14.3 over the pond. And he died on 3.14 Pi Day, or 14.3 over the pond. Who is going to be the next generation's iconic genius? A great loss to mankind. Rest in peace. Man, what a drag. Wasn't expecting to see this before bed. RIP. Deleted. It's incredible to think that someone with that condition could make it that long. We should feel lucky that we got to see his contribution for as long as we did. Even though I haven't read any of his research or his work, I know that he has made a tremendous impact on society and other people. RIP, and thank you for everything you've done for our world, Professor. Diagnosed with ALS in his 20s, doctors gave him 5 years to live. Tops he managed to make it all the way to 76. On the way, he proved that black holes actually emit a form of radiation contrary to the previously held belief that they are inescapable for all forms of matter, and inspired an entire generation of young scientists. Hawking is a model that not just scientists but all people everywhere alike should strive to be like. When I was growing up, we would call smart people Einstein. No doubt Hawking will become the Einstein of younger generations, and his legacy remembered forever. RIP Hawking, thank you for everything. It is uncommon for a single human to affect as many people's lives as Stephen Hawking has. This is devastating to all. May such a magnificent man rest in peace. I did not realize he was 76, already. It seems like. He just seemed that he would continue on, had already beaten every odd of living. Why not 80, why not 90 even? 76 is freaking amazing though, unbelievable. He had 2 years to live and nearly made it 50. Insanely great reminder to treat every day like it matters. Hope his contributions inspire a better generation. I just can't believe he's dead. Absolutely insane to me. A guy I've known about almost my entire life. Feel surreal. I think this is the first death that's hit me this hard. Rip Stephen Hawking, by far one of the smartest people to ever live. We've lost another brilliant mind, a bittersweet goodbye. Now Steve can leave his chair behind, the hawk is in the sky. Deleted. At first I thought this was parody. It'll be weird to not have him in society. It's a terrible day for rain. It's a terrible day for rain. We still needed him. The greatest enemy of knowledge is not ignorance, it is the illusion of knowledge. Rip. I hope he gets to see the universe. Feel surreal right now. We are all now connected by the internet, like neurons in a giant brain. Stephen Hawking, scientist and Redditor. Rip, man had more fight in him than a raging bull. For anyone sad or needs something more lighthearted, here is Hawking character in Herb completely destroying Einstein lyrically. www.youtube.com/watch?v=zn7-fvtt16k, character as Insimione playing and representing rather than him playing Thirol, also is the best turn taken out of every Herb ever. The duck do you say to this? Arguably the smartest person in history is dead. Is this how people felt when Einstein died? Rest in peace, Stephen Hawking. What a duckin' dude. Guy lived a life way beyond what anyone could have possibly expected of him. Took the cards he was dealt and went, well, that's just not duckin' good enough. Legend. This might be the saddest celebrity death of my life so far. What an amazing man and human being. Caught unexpectedly. One of the greatest losses of the generation. Rest in peace, Mr. Hawking. I just went to a concert tonight, and one of the show-stopping numbers includes a quote from Richard Dawkins that I always find very moving. When I came home and found out Stephen Hawking had passed, I was reminded of the quote that so often makes me stop and think. If anyone embodies the sentiment, he does. After sleeping through 100 million centuries, we have finally opened our eyes on a sumptuous planet, sparkling with color, bountiful with life. Within decades we must close our eyes again. Isn't it a noble, an enlightened way of spending our brief time in the sun, to work at understanding the universe and how we have come to wake up in it? I appreciate him and all he did, but why is this unscripted? I appreciate him and all he did, but why is this unscripted? He was born exactly 300 years after the death of Galileo, and died on Pi Day. That's enough coincidences that I bet that someone just as brilliant as him, or maybe more so, was born today. Or at least I'd like to hope. It's a dark day for science. Rest in peace, Dr. Hawking. Rip. Life would be tragic if it weren't funny. I.Imager.com/7xov8sj.jpg. Rest well, Stephen. One man with lives for 55 years with ALS while the rest of the world's medical professionals struggle to keep patients alive for more than 3. What did Stephen teach his doctor? Rip Mr. Hawking. I looked at this and thought, this can't be real. Then he looked him up and it is all over the news. I mean, this just proves that time flies by. One day, he's teaching people about the multiverse theory and then the next, poof. Man, may he rest in peace. Why is this unscripted? Does this mean the world is ending? Why is this on/r/scripted? Why is this on/r/scripted? And what is the question? Why is this posted in r/ask Reddit? What is the question? Rest in peace. Rip, one of the greatest minds to ever lived. Thank you for everything, Stephen. I shouldn't be as surprised as I am. But I am. Probably the closest thing most of us still living will ever see to an Einstein. Hey, you made it to the end, nice job. Remember to like and subscribe, it's free and you can unsub whenever you want.